It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
You're warm though, right?
I'm warm.
You're warm.
Yeah.
I wish we had lasers back here.
Like a BTO show?
Like a BTO show. I was thinking something more modern, though.
Okay.
Have you met them?
This right here. Wow, I just inhaled a mouthful of smoke. This is like going to a 70s disco.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
This is great.
It was supposed to be warmer out.
It's fine.
It was supposed
It's
to be
all
warmer
staying in.
I love this. This is
all staying.
on par for Bellhead.
I didn't think we would need fire. I thought it would just be nice, simple in the backyard, but oh my God.
This is where we are now.
This is Car Con Carne in my backyard. Car Con Carne sponsored by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. Experience seamless control over audio, video, lighting, climate, security, and more. Embrace the future of smart living. It's your home, your rules, motherfucker. Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.
Sorry.
Spilling meat already.
Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.net or give Dan a call at 630-730-3728. I already feel my voice going from the smoke.
You'll have the low raspy voice like Ivan then.
Oh, my God. Tag Publicity. Tag Publicity. If you are a creative, a musician, I've got a PR hookup for you. Tag Publicity, a music and event publicity company that is freshly distinctive. Tag Publicity is a full-service entertainment PR, talent development, branding, digital marketing, social media management, project management, distribution, content creation, booking, and public relations company headed by Evan J. Thomas. You can reach out to him anytime if you have PR needs to evanjthomaspr@gmail.com. And the PR, of course, stands for Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's fair.
Good.
Follow Tag Publicity on Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok. So my podcast brings all the bands to the yard. The band...
How long have you been sitting on that one?
Since last night, since
Okay,
I prepped.
good,
Yeah.
good.
The band in question, it is returning favorites Bellhead, Ivan, and Karen. If you're watching this, they are to my left. If you're listening, they're also to my left. You just can't see them. We've been doing things like this off and on for years, and I thought we'd try something different. I also thought I'd try something easy for me and record in my backyard.
Yeah, we're all about it. Absolutely.
So we're recording in mid-May. And I really thought it was going to be warm out. It was like 90 degrees out last week.
This is
This
perfect.
is third winter in Chicago.
So it's like 50 degrees out, and we stuck to the plan to record in the backyard. And I thought, well, I've got a fire pit. Let's just light that. So we're currently sitting in front of this carcinogenic pile of smoke.
This is honestly, as I take an
It's really a smoke pit at this point.
they're really so. 150,000 years ago, I was in a band called Fashion Bomb from Chicago, right? And we had this guy that, he was kind of like our roadie. He was our tech guy. And his job was, he decided his job was to hit the fog button.
I know this.
And so we would start and we'd have these big, glorious introductions. And he would hit that fog button and he would never let go of the fog button. And this is what it reminds me of. And I actually, for probably about 4 years, had like a fake fog allergy because it was so much fog. So this is just reliving flashbacks from the mid 2000s of Chicago industrial.
Glad I could take you back. All right, speaking of industrial, before we get into the new EP, which people love, including me, Karen, I saw you at the Ministry show. It was Ministry, Knights of Reb, and De Krupp
Yes.
at the Riviera. Now, we weren't in the same area.
Right,
at
you
the
were in the
Riviera.
fancy, I'm up top and looking down at all.
I was sitting in one of the opera boxes on stage right, which should be okay, but you kept taking pictures of me. It was really kind of creepy. It's like, look at him enjoying his elbow room.
That's exactly what I was. That was exactly the point.
How dare he?
You don't get any fun. No fun for you.
It was a little crowded.
It was very crowded. But fantastic show, though.
A fantastic show. I think I probably said this because we ended up walking out at the exact same time, even though we were in different places. I was in the nice area, you weren't.
As with commoners, yeah.
I think D. Krupp left the biggest mark.
Stole the show.
They really did.
Stole the show, 100%. Yeah. When he stood on the industrial thing and then started
The big giant pipes, yeah.
That's my industrial. I want you to go and get the stuff from the alley, drag it on stage, and then put a mic on it, and then beat it, and then throw it away at the end of the night.
Loved it. And the song they open with, I forgot the name of it, but the word Nazis is in it. I've listened to that probably 5,000 times since that show.
Yeah.
It's so great.
They're phenomenal, 100%.
Right,
Al's okay too, but
one more thought about that. Okay, it was a little weird to see Al referring back to his tablet for lyrics during the show. I get it; it's been a while, but
we have cheat sheets sometimes too.
We have to learn our lyrics sometimes, and sometimes it's, "Why did you say that right before the show?" I don't shut up. I've got to read them again and get them right in my head.
I couldn't decide if he was having fun or if he really was miserable doing those songs.
Why not both?
Yeah.
I guess.
I think that's the Al Jurgensen recipe is why not both?
Yeah. I know. So I am friends with the keyboard player with Bechtel, and he says that it's been going. Everyone's in good spirits and they've been having fun, and
they definitely played up the schmaltzy re-engaging with the old synth pop stuff. They're all in sparkly suits.
It was a good show. I'm glad that we went.
Since we're not in the car and since we're not eating, since we're not behind the wheel, Karen, you brought beverages for tonight.
Did, yes.
Explain what you brought, because this is really a bar con carne.
Bar con carne.
Oh, look at you.
Oh,
you
man.
were just all over the place today.
So
it's like I've been doing this for 1,050 episodes.
Okay.
One or two. So during the pandemic, a lot of people picked up hobbies. They sourdough, crochet, cross stitch. I went back to my family roots, who were moonshiners for Al Capone. True story.
How do I not know this?
I have. There are so many things. Like, at some point when we're off camera, we can talk about how my uncle is an Olympic fencer, and my aunt and uncle were in the huge hostage thing in the 80s.
The Iran-Contra?
The Iran-Contra. I have mysteries. I have so many stories to tell you. But no, so my great uncle Joe was a moonshiner for Al Capone.
That's wild.
Yeah, and so he made bathtub gin, and I just kind of was like, well, it's in my blood, it's in my roots, and so I learned how to make.
And now
mead.
it's in our cups.
And now it's in your cups.
Now this is the truth. I've never had mead.
Yep.
Anywhere. All I know about mead is that it's what Thor would drink in a comic book, like as he's preparing for an arm wrestling match with Hercules.
Perfect.
He'd have,
Yeah.
It's funny. Coincidentally, just last week I interviewed the co-owner of a meadery in the suburbs. Yes, but I led the interview.
Did they not give you any mead at the meadery?
They did not. Oh, I wasn't at the meadery.
Oh,
but
okay.
I led with the question, explain mead for those who don't know. He's like, mead sucks.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Wow.
Which I guess that craft brewers don't have PR people to coach them on interviews.
No, I guess no. Mead it's honey wine. It is at its purest form. It is water, honey, and yeast. Like
easiest thing to make.
Fleischmann's bread yeast.
Easiest thing to make at home.
That's it. And then you have to put it in a container that can aerate, so it just has an airlock, so the bubbles come out while it ferments, and that's.
How long does it take?
Anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 months, depending on how complex you want to get.
Ivan, have you been on the receiving end of all the testing that led to this point?
I've had some of it, yes. Not all of it, but yeah.
When did you feel like you locked down your approach? Like you figured out how to do this the right way?
When everybody started asking for more, I think.
That's exactly it.
So Karen said she was bringing some over. She brings a tote bag. It's just the three of us in my backyard, and she starts bringing out all these bottles.
Yep.
It's the small bar cart.
Yeah.
But I realized you brought a variety of your
there's
homemade
multiple
meads.
flavors, right? It's I had to, you have to taste kind of a a little bit of everything.
And no
let's taste
artificial
it.
flavors involved,
So this is the Honey Crisp apple, essentially. So it's
Very, very autumnal.
yeah, exactly. So cheers.
All right. My first mead, courtesy of Karen of Bellhead.
It's the smoke. It's not the booze.
That is very sweet.
It's very sweet.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, right. Won't kill you.
I mean, I'm like flashing back to drinking wine coolers in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite Bartles and James, but it'll do, right?
Yeah, but that is.
I miss Bartles and James.
I was a Seagram's Golden wine cooler person. But that's it. So that's just honey, apple juice, yeast,
That's good, Karen.
and it's at like 13% alcohol.
This is good. Very sugary.
Yep, very sugary.
I see his mind changing.
No, it's not changing. I'm actually trying to calculate how much can I try tonight
Well,
without losing control of everything.
Little,
Yeah,
little testers.
Well, you don't have far to go.
exactly.
As long as you clear the fire pit, everything's okay.
The smoke pit. So, Bellhead, as we're sitting here, you will be at the Chicago Steampunk Convention on Friday, May 30th at 10 p.m. That's at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare. Are you steampunk fans?
Well, I am old-timey.
You are old-timey. I mean, I feel like Bellhead's probably steampunk adjacent at
We
the
are,
very
sure.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're definitely nerds.
I mean, if
like
you think about it, what is a base other than a chunk of wood, a magnet, and some metal coils? There's like, the technology hasn't changed since its inception. An electric base, so like really, it's not that shy of steampunk,
Yeah, fair.
and we have two of them,
yeah.
And you have two of them.
and that's where we stopped with technology.
All right, so that's the next local show. Do
Yeah.
you have a more proper show coming up, or is that TBA?
We have, so that's kind of the end of our spring dates that we just kind of whirlwinded through a bunch of shows in the Midwest. We do have more stuff coming up. We haven't fully announced it yet, but we will have some Chicago shows. We are going to Michigan, so we're going to go to Grand Rapids and Bay City. We're part of a kind of goth fest in Indiana called Bats Over Indy, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. And then we're going to wrap up the end of the year going south again.
You're always busy, and it feels like the busyness.
It's at a clip.
It keeps accelerating with the two of you.
Well,
Yeah, it's like that song, Beep Beep. It just keeps picking up,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's maddening.
All right. So here's the next question: do we try more mead before
Yes.
we start talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
EP?
Okay, right.
All right. I'm thinking. Well, I'm trusting Karen. It's better than expected.
I mean, it's not bad, right?
I mean, you have to lower expectations when someone says, "Yeah, make it in my bathroom."
Well, she doesn't actually make it in the bathroom. So,
Make it in the pantry, make it in the closet.
In a closet.
so I used to know these Bulgarian guys, and they made bathtub gin. And when I say they made bathtub gin, they would put it in plastic bottles, and the bottle would melt and kind of contort. And so you knew what you were getting into when you drank that, because the bottle could no longer hold its form. That's a different kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
So this is maple
Oh, did you need this cup?
bourbon blueberry. No,
Maple, bourbon, blueberry.
so think of it as blueberry pancakes, but in a liquid alcoholic form.
Think of it as a blueberry pancake, but in a liquid alcoholic form. I will do that. So there's actual bourbon in here in addition to
There
the mead
is-
base.
It was aged with bourbon barrel wood.
Okay.
Cheers.
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 Drinking mead in the backyard.
For a Monday, this is kind of
I gotta say, I mean, this is kind of the American dream. I'm
Yeah.
doing a podcast in the backyard. I'm drinking homemade mead with Bellhead.
It's the right weather for it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a nice finish.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that more than I like the Honeycrisp, but I like this even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
This
It's a
doesn't
little.
come
It's
out
more
right.
complex, right?
it is.
Yeah.
Well done, Karen.
A woman of many talents.
Oh my goodness, that's great. That's
That
trouble.
one fast.
Oh yeah. That was great, and that is trouble.
He's going to be like Thor and then smashes on the ground again.
Again.
All right, so Threats.
Threats.
Threats is the new EP from Bellhead. Lots of wonderful coverage so far. The EP Threats has been described as a thrilling sonic odyssey, a loud, grit-soaked middle finger to mediocrity, a bass-fueled gut punch you didn't see coming. I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you did.
Yeah. Bellhead breakthrough. Bellhead fire warning shots. Ivan Russia's low-key responses and scowl don't mean he doesn't like you. He's just Russian.
I didn't hear that one.
I just added that one.
Okay.
It's true, all of it.
That's kind of like when Spinal Tap is going through the reviews and they just say it's 2 words. It's shit sandwich.
Which, by the way, they're re-releasing the original in theaters this year.
We're going, right?
Totally going.
Yeah.
And I'm optimistic. I'm never optimistic about sequels, but those guys
I've
never.
seen the sequel, Some Kind of Monster. It's brilliant.
But those guys never do a bad movie. So Threats, the lyric themes on this EP feel like somewhere between Johnny Cash and Nick Cave. We hear songs about God, betrayal, gunshots, family, drinking, horses, cowboys, and salvation. Is this your Americana album?
Might be.
I've got to think, as a duo, you were just talking about all the places you've been and will go to. Mm-hmm. You've traveled a lot of America together.
We do.
Is Threats kind of a reflection of all that you've seen and inventoried along the way?
Oh God, I didn't really think about it that way. I don't know. We were doing some press and we were talking about No Dead Horses, and it's like there's nothing really more, in the American imagery. It's like the cowboy, and then to kind of put that in the modern parlance of, you start with the line of sitting in a truck stop, and it's like, okay, then you're placing it in the now, but the idea, that spirit, and it's kind of like, well, where do you go when there's nowhere left to wander, and there being in a band, it's this nomadic thing. You're just going from place to place. You live nowhere and you're always somewhere, and
there's a bit of unreality to that kind of living.
it is.
Yeah.
You can get your head up your ass real fast if
Sure.
you don't watch yourself, because you're never in the same place twice. So you can really act like your diet is out of control. Your sleep pattern, everything's out of control, and you just got to kind of like create your own normalcy.
Yeah.
And some of us are built for it, and some of us aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably more helpful that it's just the two of you. Like, you can't go solo too often. Like, you're kind of always checking and balancing each other.
We absolutely do. Yeah. And I think, especially on the road, we make sure that we're, we check in how we are physically and mentally. It's like, are you drinking water? Did you get enough sleep? Can you...
Your turn to drive.
Your
that
turn
kind
to
of thing.
drive. And especially when you're putting the amount of miles, and you're right, we don't have 5 people with us to share that 8-hour trip,
Yeah.
and so we do. We really have to make sure that we kind of hive mind a lot of things and take care of each other.
I think like 2 roommates have to get along, but then 3 roommates, suddenly no one knows what happened to the peanut butter. Yeah. And so as long as there's 2 of you, it's like you have to kind of work it out. But as soon as you put more people in it, then you can team up, you can squirrel off, and then there's suddenly this mystery factor because it's always there's someone else to blame. So just being 2, it's very, well, either you're doing it or I'm doing it. And there's a division of labor. Sometimes it's, oh, you're good at this, and sometimes it's, hey, this person's a real dick, so I need you to deal with them. Yeah. That kind of thing.
Or Ivan, I drank too much booze and you have to drive to Kansas City.
That's a boring drive. That's a really boring drive.
Yeah.
It is a real boring drive.
Got to chunk that one up.
It's rough.
You got to take them on the chin, though. I mean, thankfully, it's like we're from the Midwest. You spend enough time in traffic, in the car that you're like, you just go, okay, well, this one's only a 5-hour drive.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
that
easy.
bad.
5 hours is really the limit, right? Like, you could do 5 hours. Anything after 5, you're like, oh fuck, here we go.
When we book our tours, and we do it, we don't have a booking agent at all, and so I really try to be mindful of that 5-hour mark. Now sometimes you just can't, you have to do the long slog, but yeah, 5 hours is the sweet spot for doing it.
Yeah.
Martin Atkins will tell you, no point in booking shows outside of that limit.
Yep.
Well, speaking of Martin, so go ahead.
Like, we ran into Martin on tour in the middle of nowhere.
I was wondering like in a parking lot, right?
A gas station, truck stop, like an hour north of Champaign-Urbana.
Yeah, I think it was actually further than it was middle. Karen does a double take, and then she's like, "Is that Martin?"
It could only be.
I
It
see
could
this
only be.
Muppet of white hair,
and he's doing the double take. So I just finally go, "Martin," and then it's like, okay, now that I've acknowledged that it's him, he can acknowledge that it.
And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing out here, you fuckers?" And he's, "What the and Springs is, a long
Yeah.
line of obscenities. But yeah, he was doing a lecture at Millikan University,
That sounds right. Okay.
and we just happened to be at literally the same truck stop.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it's like 5 minutes difference. We wouldn't have seen each other.
Right.
Right. Just.
Yeah.
But of all the places to run in, and it was just like, oh, there you go.
Yep.
And
I'm crying, by the way, because of the smoke.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
tearing. It's nothing you're saying is terribly poignant, but I am tearing up.
no,
right
it was
now.
great. It was like we messaged a mate, and then she's like, is he selling you the points card? Like, what's he doing there? Is he franchising the gas station? It's like, don't give him more ideas, But no, it was just great to just run into him randomly and just have a good, quick chat, and then we both went on our ways. And
All right. So threats. The title track on this one, toxic relationship sort of song.
oh, I don't really think so. I think. I mean, sure, it could be. You take it like I don't really. I want everybody to take the songs as what what they're useful to them. Like, I made a chair, I sold you a chair. If you stand on it in your house, I'm not there to tell you have to sit in it. Like whatever.
Right.
But I was kind of looking at it where, all these songs that are like the emotional whiplash, where it's like, I'm the baddest bitch, but I'm so afraid. I'm like, whoa, hold on, pick a lane, And if you take like a Billy Joel song where it's kind of like the story progresses, and then there's doubt in the bridge and whatever, and I was just like, well, what if that bad bitch was the whole way through the song? Like, tell me that story. The movie Near Dark, when Bill Paxton,
Okay.
Lance Henriksen, the vampire movie, Catherine Bigelow.
Modern references.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the scene in the bar, the scene.
The scene.
Right. And I was just like, what happens when they roll into the bar? When she rolls into the bar. And I was just like, okay, I want to put this together. And I had some actor's secret frame of reference, and it was kind of like very Chicago. I had some in that. And then I was like, it just kind of clicked into place. The thing was that it was very, very late in us making the record.
Yeah.
The song was something, and then it shifted lanes, and so we were on the road, and it was like writing on napkins, writing on this, playing Karen what I had worked on, and she goes, I don't like the outro, change it. I was like, okay. It's the next, because we had no rehearsals.
Yeah.
Because we would.
So we've been on tour relentlessly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it got down to the wire and finishing lyrics, and Karen did this great thing. She goes, there was this lyric in the song, and I went, oh, she doesn't waste her time with prayer. And I go, oh, I should change that. That's not working. And Karen goes, that is a better lyric than you think it is. Stop. And I was like, okay, trust your bandmate,
Speaking of checks and balances,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then we get to recording, and it's like, we've only played it like maybe 10 times together, and that was in, one rehearsal. So, in its entirety kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but,
It came out amazing.
yeah.
I love it.
I'm super proud of it.
Well, one of the things I love, one of the many things I love about Bellhead, Ivan, you have this, for lack of a better way of saying it, an almost sinister spoken word style of delivery.
Sure.
It makes you kind of like a flawed and problematic narrator, the way you deliver
I am
things.
an unreliable narrator. Yeah.
I think that's what makes
Yeah.
your singing cool.
Well, right. I mean, that's the thing is there should be an element of like, if you're the last survivor of a sunken ship, and you say, oh, it's not my fault. It's like, well, there's no one else to say what really happened.
Right.
And I like that element in storytelling where it's like, is this really a trustworthy source? And a lot of these songs there's a story element to them, but then there's you can do with that what you will. And if it works for you in your interpretation, great. Have at it.
Heart-shaped hole. I've been waiting for a vengeful God to come show his face to me. The oh yeahs on this, is that a sample from, what is that?
It is. It's really simple. It's one of those stock things that you can do, and so you can pitch it and whatever. And I just went, oh, I think I just found something I'm going to play with.
But it's that nod to gospel.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
because you've got the never forgive, never forget, shine a light on me. Shine,
Right.
like that is a very gospel type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got the call and response there.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like
I'm
a
not
lead belly
crying
shine
over the
on.
song.
Right.
I'm crying over the fog.
Well, yeah. It's like you have to get when you get so mad that you're mad at God. You know, when it's like when there's no answers. You know, when it's like, you know, like losing something that's so precious to you, and it's like you don't want that, you know, peace and forgiveness Jesus stuff. No, you want Old Testament fire and brimstone. You know, you like I want God, you, me, one-on-one, you know, right now, that kind of thing. And it's like that's the sort of you know, the that there is a hole that cannot be filled, you know. And it was like that was kind of the intent of that, was like, oh, we're not talking about peace and love stuff. We're talking, you know, destroy the world, you know, God kind of thing.
But when we started talking about this EP, I said this is your Americana album, and as Karen talks about gospel, like this does feel like a very American themed, whether intentional or subtle, American themed.
Bellhead
EP.
comes to America.
But I mean, just in terms of the music you're recreating or bellheading.
I guess I didn't think of it as Americana more than we just took some real big swings on this album, and we flexed a lot of muscles that we haven't previously. And you know, we've said this a few times. We've had a couple interviews, and we've been writing this music. And there was one day at practice, and I was just frustrated with the world. And I turned to Ivan, and I'm like, I'm done being nice.
And I said to her, no, I was never nice.
I was going to say, Ivan said, welcome.
Yep. And so we wrote the album for us.
Which, I mean, that's the secret, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
You got to make yourselves happy.
Right.
Oh, I mean, we're the first audience,
Yeah.
you know.
But we had a lot of things that we were working through too. I mean, there was definitely, I mean, there's obviously loss in this album, and there's, you know, a lot of sadness and rediscovery, and I think that we packaged this EP. This is a great EP that I'm really proud of. That we're really proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the songs didn't all come like from the same. And then we're writing this one and we're writing that one. Like Double Jeopardy was the first time that Karen contributed to writing lyrics, and it was like, oh great. Well, you know, she told me
now he's going to
previously-
make me write more lyrics.
Well, she told me previously she couldn't write lyrics, and I'm like, the fuck you can't. I mean, you've been telling me what lyrics are good and what lyrics aren't, and you've been listening.
So what lyrics are we talking? Are the lyrics "She burns brighter than
Yeah.
1,000 suns,
Yep.
Yeah.
never come between a girl and her gun"?
Yeah.
Love it.
Thanks.
And then there's "Papa drank, Mama prayed, some souls just don't get saved."
Yeah. Karen wrote the groove for the song, and it was something, I don't know how many songs we almost lose and then find again, and it came back up, and Karen had told me like the wrong BPM, so it just didn't work when I tried to play with it, and I came back around and I was like, oh, I'm gonna figure this out, and then I just kept humming it, kept going, and I just sat down and just like boom, 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 like it just wrote so fast. I'm like, there's something here, but I didn't really have a chorus. And Karen was like, well, I'll take a crack at it with some pushing. And then I was like, there, yeah, you could do that, you know.
She killed it.
Yeah, fine. Take it. I hope you
Right.
like it.
All right, so for this EP, that's not necessarily an Americana EP.
I mean, it could
We'll
be.
go with it. No, it's fine. Let's do
No
it.
Dead Horses is your country song.
Well, that's the thing is no Dead Horses and Threats both have that open.
Now I'm looking for salvation in a bottle or a gun.
Yeah,
All right, it's an Americana song. It's fine.
yeah.
And by the way, the low bass really makes itself felt on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a very Karen presence on that.
It yeah, we had some new tools in recording the process too to
The
get
Crows
that.
really tie it together.
Yeah, the Crows were getting the Crows into the recording studio to like make them all crow at the same time was
we
really
need to
difficult.
talk to you and get the mics arranged.
So there are a couple of remixes on the EP. The first being a familiar favorite, Bad Taste,
Yep.
the Stabbing Westward remix. Much heavier spin on this song.
Yes.
So how does that work? Do you just give them all the stems and just say, do whatever the fuck you want? And
Yeah.
Are you going to argue with Stabbing Westward?
absolutely not. But I'm just trying to understand the process.
Well, so the thing is that Walt from Stabbing Westward had done Nothing As It Seems previously, and then we were doing...
We did a couple shows with them last year.
And Chris was like, well, I'd do a crack at a Bellhead song. And we were like, Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, let's give him
Bad
Bad
Taste.
Taste. And then we get it back, and it's like, is he singing a Bellhead song? And it's like, he's like, oh yeah, I just added.
Yeah, my own vocals on it. Yeah.
And we're like, oh shit, Chris Hall singing a Bellhead song. Like, what is happening?
That's fantastic.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I mean, a remix should be a brand new vision.
Oh yeah, it's what I think, like the Blood Rave and like Blade, like that's the song. You know, it's like, yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then Heart Shaped Hole, which the original version is on the EP.
Yep.
My Best Friends in Club Drugs.
Yes, we love
you
them.
can't steal them from us. I have
They're
them.
ours.
I have-
We found them
I
first.
have them in each pocket right now.
Love Club Drugs. They definitely make this one feel a little more ethereal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get a job scoring the next Haunted Mansion ride or something like that.
I think they would love to do that. Yeah.
And also she added her vocals on there too, which was cool.
right.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a show with
We've
them.
done a few shows with
Well,
them.
right. We did that Thrashnetic in Milwaukee, and we were playing Heart Shaped Hole, and we watched both their eyes kind of like widen when the Oh Yeahs came in, and so we're like, so is that's the song you guys want to remix? Here you go, go nuts, and
No direction, no anything.
yeah,
just
you
have
know,
fun.
Well, we told them. Your remix is coming after the Stabbing Westward remix, and you get to close out the EP, so you
No
take as
pressure.
much time as you want. Yeah,
Don't fuck it up.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, that was the gave them at least that notification that you're at the end, so take whatever time you need, but also you're
Came
coming
out
after-
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, the EP is out. It is Threats. We've got you booked at the Steampunk Convention on the 30th. More to follow. Every time I see you, every time I talk to you, it feels like nothing but momentum. I mean, it feels like from whence you started 5+ years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you've really kind of come into your own.
Well, I mean, we never stop working. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like,
There's
you
that
ever take a
Midwestern
day
ethic.
off? Just keep,
The only people holding you back are yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is true.
right. And we are both very highly motivated, highly productive individuals, and we both get bored really easily.
It seems like a really good creative partnership.
It's fun. It's I'm really lucky that the lightning hit at the right time for this to happen.
The timing is the thing. Is we've talked about, we're like, if we tried to do this 10 years earlier, we weren't the people that we are now. As to like,
Would ego have gotten in the way?
totally.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you're able to call each other out on whatever
Yeah.
and not
Oh,
not
yeah.
hurt feelings and be able
Oh
to
no!
move on.
I always say the first time I met Ivan, I absolutely hated him.
Her opinion still hasn't changed.
Not
but I'm
really.
working on it.
It's no. No, we could never have done it. And we didn't have the tools, musically. I think ego would have gotten in the way. And it was all at the right time. And you have to be humble, right? You have to be able to take constructive feedback, and you need to not have a chip on your shoulder. I mean, the amount of times that I tell Ivan no is awful.
But I mean, that's just it. I mean, that does come with time and living through shit, being able to take criticism.
And it's trust, and
Yeah.
like it's that those old like HR team building. Let's do a trust fall, and that's every day is a trust fall.
And like, I mean, there's also things like 10 years ago, I would have kicking and screaming about being in a band with a laptop. Like that would just be no, because I watched every band do it where it failed and they didn't have a backup or whatever. But then also that changed with the way that an audience perceived that.
Yeah.
It's like it's no longer just, oh, that's Star Search, like that's.
And I never would have sang 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. So like
50% of the
we
time.
needed certain things to come into place, not just for us, but for like what an audience was willing to accept and what we were willing to accept ourselves doing, see ourselves doing. So these things had to kind of line up, and now we're at a place where we are, really productive, but we're also standing in our own way, because when we're on the road, you can't kind of write songs when you're playing the other songs, and that's then the push-pull of it. It's like, where's the next EP? I'm like, well, it's hard to write it when you're playing this one.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Ivan gets really excited because I go on family vacation in June, and then leave him.
Go away.
then he can sequester himself and get shit done.
Yep, exactly.
I've got more ideas than I have time for, and I got to go through them to then go, well, that's working, that one's not, this one's, on the way here I was telling Karen, so that one that we tried to play, well, I've either made it way better or way worse, but we have to get in the space to figure that out,
Makes sense. Yeah. All right, love the new EP. I love the band. You know that.
We need one more drink, though. I have one more.
We do. We'll do that off camera. If that's cool. But thank you for rolling the dice and coming to my backyard.
This is great. I think I like this better than the car.
I like this because
smoke. You trusted me to create a fire, and I created a pile of smoke. And
I have more headroom here.
You do, yeah, because you were in the back seat last time.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
No, I
All right,
appreciate
more
it.
meat awaits. Threats is the new EP. This is Bellhead, and this is Carco and Carne.